Yo, welcome to D.TV. It's your boy, D. Today we're going to be talking about Dead Rising 3 for the Xbox One. Is it that bad in 2024? Let's break it down. Bah!
Sometimes I don't even know why we bother fighting.
That's why. We don't stop fighting if it's for family. I ain't gay!
You ready for this, player?
Oh no! Oh no!
Deletion never came back. That shit's the real Loch Ness monster.
What are you doing?
Me? Just hanging around.
So, why you pick this class anyway? It's pretty hard. Oh, beautiful view. All right.
This is a certified hood classic.
That's right. Look who it is. Nick Ramos, the zombie hunter.
He's a hunk of a man coming from Mexico.
Now, what can I say about Nick Ramos? Well, I actually really like Nick Ramos. He grew on me. He's an interesting character, not the most fleshed out guy, but he's very enjoyable to be as. I like his sensitivity, his awkward personality, and he's just the kind of guy that you want to be in a situation like this. Help yourself, help your friends, and get the fuck out of here. I mean, what else do you need?
Uncovering the truth about the zombies.
Nick Ramos is a cool Hispanic dude, and he's a mechanic, which is a stereotypical, but
This right here is Nick Ramos.
it works. It actually works.
Bloodthirsty zombies. Goddamn, mijo. Get out of there. Peckish.
Throughout the story, you kind of figure out more about Nick and more about his purpose later on. In the beginning, you kind of just think, oh, he's just some guy, he's just a mechanic, he's just your regular old Joe. But then you kind of realize there's more to him than meets the eye, and he's a bit more special than you really think. And I kind of like how they tried to tie that in, especially with the previous games. And not to spoil anything, but there's some cool shit that you might dig if you're a previous player of the first or second game, such as I. But for me, I thoroughly enjoyed this game, and Nick grew on me so much that, yeah, I actually consider him as someone part of the franchise. More than that goddamn game, Dead Rising 4, Jesus Christ.
Dead Rising 4. Who keeps playing these games, man?
No, turn it off.
See you in a minute.
Turn it off.
What the fuck is this?
There ain't no way people are playing this game. It's hurting my soul. It's hurting the top G's out there.
Shut the fuck up.
Now, let's talk about the story and the characters for just a moment. The story is just okay. Like, it's just okay. It's not iconic like the previous games, but it still tries to tie in with the previous games and makes Nick more, have a purpose, like I said before. I love the conspiracy shit, like conspiracy and government bullshit, cover-ups and stuff like that, such as the previous games. In this one, it feels good in a way that you're Nick in this weird-ass situation and you're with your friends, there's Rhonda and then there's Dick. Let's talk about Dick for a second. What's the point of Dick? Why does he exist? Period. Purely as someone that the co-op player could play as, but disappointing to have someone in cutscenes, but never having much of an arc. Just kinda there.
That man's a bitch.
The voice acting is pretty good for the majority of the time. There's not one line that's like badly voiced, or there's not a character that like makes you rip your hair out and cringy as to like nowadays games. And you know what I'm on about. You know what I'm on about. You know what I'm on about. In my opinion, I think Rhonda is very well voice acted. At first, she starts off as somebody that just like follows the law, follows the TV, believes everything that the TV says, believes what the government says, much like some people in real life. And, you know, then later on, you see her develop and she starts to question things on her own, and it's, you know, seeing is believing kind of thing. But sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. But that's just that inner person in you that just, you know the truth, you know, you don't believe what people are telling you. And she starts to, you know, realize in halfway through and shit. And I like that. That's character development. You know, that's character development. I also like Diego. Diego is Nick's friend that he grew up with, you know. I like him too. He's voice acted well as well. He's very paranoid, but it's a cool character. The cheese is good. I just don't like Dick.
Goddamn leeches everywhere.
There's a lot of characters that you meet throughout the game, and that adds to the story. And if depending on the endings you get different outcomes, and I like that, you know. But overall, the whole story is actually paced really well. They're fun. Cutscenes are fun. They're really well made. And like I said, the voice acting is actually really good. Like, you actually get immersed and you actually kind of give a fuck about these characters, even though it's just a funny little zombie game. But I like that. It's got a cheese to it, but the right cheese, and it's not cringe, you know, like Black Ops 6, where the characters are, I don't even want to say, I'll get banned on here. But you know what I'm on about.
You murdered these people.
Observant one, isn't he? Oh, adorable. I do so love a hero wannabe. Let's see if he stands up to the test, or limps out at the end. Get in here, boys!
Move, move,
Let's
move!
make this a gangbang!
I ain't gay. I was only looking down his pants because I heard his schlong was so big and juicy. No, wait a minute. That didn't sound right.
This is a song called "Nie mogę zrobić domofon." It's been in my country, there is a problem.
Now, let's talk about graphics, gameplay, the style, things like that. We'll start off with graphics. The graphics offer some improvements. The engine can handle more zombies on screen than the previous games. Despite its mediocre style and bland color palette, it gets away with it with how the gore system and ragdoll is played out. Each hit slices and dices the zombies in an addicting way. Seeing the blood effects and good rendering makes up for its not so stylized world, you know? Guns feel great, offering more boom than the previous games. Muzzle flash and smoke effects are great. Fire effects are great too. A lot about this game is done right, just doesn't hit the mark in the world's aesthetic in my opinion. But not a major setback, as the game is extremely fun. Dare I say, more fun than the previous. The graphics kind of lose its charm, you know, and sometimes there are like rendering pop-ins, but I'll talk about the cons later on. Way after some of the good things I do have to say, but graphics especially, like, it runs really well, you know, to load in so much more zombies on screen. Like, as you progress through the chapters, there's more and more and more zombies on screen. Like, it actually surprised the hell out of me that the Xbox One X that I play it on can actually handle that. And, you know, but it does lose its charm with, like, how bland the world looks, you know? But I don't think it's that much of a big deal since the game is such a good time killer, you know. Let's talk about challenge. It's not the most challenging game once you get the hang of it. For me, I find it pretty easy just because I'm used to the Dead Rising formula. But there is a lot of changes to the classic counterparts, you know. All of the controls are different, such as running having a sprint button, which, to be honest, in my personal opinion, it's a nice touch. I actually quite like it. However, there's like a drink called Quick Step. It's like a little juice you can mix together and stuff. And in the original games 1 and 2, it would make you sprint super fast, like sped up like Goofy, like, you know. But in this, all it does is give you unlimited stamina, which you can unlock through the skill tree anyway. making juices in the game pretty much useless. Now, speaking about leveling up, there is a skill tree system which is actually pretty cool. I like how you can pick and choose how you want Nick to progress depending on your play style. Leveling up is really fun with an added kill streak system that earns you more points the more zombies you kill. Hand-to-hand combat has been changed. No more button combinations for special attacks. It's just Y and B after certain amount of zombies killed. Not really a fan, but enjoyable when you see the points build up and the kill streak increase. My favorite special attack is swinging the zombie around and throwing them far. This works wonders on crowd control, racking up your kill streak and giving you more opportunities to do special attacks again and again. The game has definitely a lot of cheese into it, but you can't deny it's hella fun. The weapons in the game is really cool actually. Combo weapons and even some basic weapons you find around the map have special attacks too, but sadly a lot of animations are reused, which is mega disappointing. Makes it hard for me to want to make a combo weapon if they don't offer anything new to them. However, what saves it is its great basic attacking, such as light attacks, heavy attacks, and holding the heavy attack button for a downward attack. Gives you more control and flexibility on how you control hordes as you fight your way through the world of Los Perdidos. Los Perdidos! Now, one cool addition about Dead Rising 3 that none of the other games have is the super combo weapons, which is a hit or miss. There's a few weapons I do like using that I've collected throughout the map. You get blueprints. You get the blueprints around the map, so you either unlock them through levels or something like that. But all it is that you make a combo weapon and then you use that combo weapon and mix it with something else and make a super combo. And you can kind of do this twice or 3 times, I actually think. Like, you can make so many things out of just random shit. And it's actually fucking awesome. Like, yeah. This weapon I really like the most, like the elemental staff. Like, when you use the heavy attack, it switches into different modes like fire, ice, electric. It's pretty fucking cool. I've enjoyed the hell out of it. It's very OP as well. I just want to emphasize about this Kung Fu pole weapon that you get from a certain boss. It's just a lot of fun, unique animations and shit. Alright, now that's out of the way, let's talk about AI. AI has been improved a ton. Now survivors can be more reliable than the previous games, making it less a chore as opposed to Dead Rising 1, where NPCs are useless as hell and get grabbed every 5 seconds. This I like a lot, as it was needed since day one. Survivors hold most weapons, even combo weapons. They don't hold you back and you can command them with ease, creating an army if you find the game on the more difficult side, or if you're an early level, such as like level 1 to 5, maybe 10, 15. Me, on the other hand, I'm a Dead Rising OG vet, alright? I do it alone, motherfucker, I do it alone. Survivors can be stored away after saving them, so no longer making them wait outside every time you go to the safe house. Now they're at your disposal with their own stats, strengths, and weaknesses. This is a major improvement the game does wonders at. I give them props. There are 2 types of survivors in the in-game world. Ones that can come along with you and be a part of your little army, and the other are just stranded survivors that need your help to kill off any zombies surrounding them. They give you experience points, then they give thanks, and then they go along their separate ways. I like this too, just makes you feel like you're helping out, gives you quick points when you need it, when you're driving around. It's cool. However, in my own opinion, I don't think survivors are needed since the game is so easy. It literally is like the easiest Dead Rising game I've ever played. I played it on Nightmare mode, and that shit felt like easy difficulty. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just so good at the games, I don't know. The only challenge that Nightmare mode gives you is a shortened time limit and manual saving. You can't save on the pause menu like you would on normal difficulty, but I'll get into that later about the cons of Nightmare mode because I fucking hated it. Let's get into the sounds of the game, such as music, sound design, things like that. Most sounds are reused from the previous games, which I like, keeps it classic for my taste. However, sometimes the mixing can be subpar. On headphones the bass is okay, but doesn't have that oomph and impact that we would want. Some sounds can be either too quiet or too loud. It can have some balancing issues, but if you're just using your TV for sound, then this isn't a problem. Just something I've noticed. Sound choices can be good, mixed with the classic sound pack alongside some of the new sounds they implemented that you can only hear in this game. Nothing is too stock sounding, has its own tones. Soundtrack has an 80s vibe, but mediocre at best. There's only 2 songs that are enjoyable and I listen to in my spare time. Ambience is just okay, nothing iconic but does the job. Tries to go for a different feel, but doesn't hit the mark in my opinion. Now, with all the good things out of the way, let's get into the cons. Still to this day, the game can have bugs. If you're planning on getting a physical copy, I suggest the Apocalypse Edition or just the base game. Don't get the day 1 version. Please, please don't. Sometimes the physics of cars can go apeshit, which to be honest the driving is pretty sluggish most times, such as flying up in the air after hitting a crowd of zombies or just flipping around in a bad way, or hitting ramps, and the collision is just... I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. It's just badly made most times. Only times the driving is good is when you're driving in a straight line on the freeway, highway, just anything like that. Anywhere else in the maps, tight corners and shit physics and bad coding, it's just not worth it. But it forces you, since driving is crucial to get to long distance missions, since the map is pretty large. Which is a shame because you can make combo vehicles around the map. You just get 2 cars, put them together, and you can make a zombie slaying badass machine. But then what ruins it is just how bad the driving is in the game. And I hate driving in the game. I'd rather just walk my ass to the fucking mission, but then you're wasting time. Now, the map. The map menu and the map itself, the map on the menu is bland as fuck. No more beautifully illustrated sections where everything is nice and colorful and recognizable. Now it's just grayscale on top of grayscale. It feels rushed. Not only that, save points such as the cubicles aren't even labeled, making it hard to do Nightmare mode where you can only manually save, which is a major setback, but I guess it's a challenge if you want to butcher yourself. Nightmare mode isn't even that hard, to be honest. Like I said before, feels the same. But because of the buggy nature of the game, sometimes it can crash. It only crashed on me once, but the one time where it did crash and froze, I had to redo certain parts. So fucking Nightmare mode is a nightmare. Just to elaborate more on the in-game environment, like I said before, it is sadly bland in my opinion. No more soothing, vibrant colors of the mall of Dead Rising 1 or the Las Vegas casino style of Dead Rising 2. I understand they went for a rugged, rubble-style blown-to-shit vibe, but gameplay-wise, just makes it hard to recognize any area you're in, and most times I found myself stumped as to where the hell I am from memory. The lighting in the daytime is the only nice coloring that takes away the grayscale, and maybe the more Beverly Hills-style parts of the map, but then again, the previous games made each inch recognizable and sits deep in your brain without using the map. Sometimes the graphics fall short in some cutscenes, or load-in times on the map is dreadful. Bitch! When driving around, textures take its sweet time to load in front of you, which just breaks the immersion. character models flickering in and out sometimes, shadowing, lighting, environments flicker in and out, textures loading in whilst you're looking at it. It's a mess. It's a mess. Another con if you're just a console player, it can be pretty smooth for 30 FPS, but it is 30 FPS locked, and there is no 4K enhancement. I didn't realize until later on that it's locked at 720 fucking p. Wow. You know, I would expect like Capcom to give it some bumpage like they did with 1 and 2 and Off the Record to like give it some like remastering or something. But with this one, they just left behind in the dust and left it to rot. Which is a shame because this game could run really well and be played out really well. I've seen PC footage and it looks so good. It looks so good. So that's a shame. Despite some of its bullshit cons, alright? Overall, my conclusion is that this game is pretty decent. It's just the fault of bad developing and being too ambitious to work on a console that doesn't really work on. If this game just had a little bit more love to it, wasn't rushed, like back in the day when the Day 1 edition, which don't get the Day 1 edition, I swear to God, you'll wanna do some naughty things. It wouldn't have had the bugs that it has, and then it wouldn't run the way it does. And for PC players, they get the best version, unfortunately. But if you just want something that's a nice time killer and is very fun gameplay wise, this one's good. Don't play Dead Rising 4. That one's garbage. That one makes you not want to progress. I've played it.
I want to die.
I don't want to play that game ever again. I'd rather play Barbie Adventures or something. And I don't even think that game exists. If it does, please don't let me know about it. If I was to rate this game, it's just a decent 7 out of 10. Maybe that might be too much of a high rating for what it is. But for me, for how it surprised the hell out of me despite its flaws and rough around the edges, it's far more enjoyable than most games nowadays, which says a lot. That a buggy game is more fun and more enjoyable and has better story than games that come out now. There's games with great graphics now, and I'd rather not play them just because of how soulless they are. This one I like. This one I consider part of the Dead Rising franchise. Will I ever love it as much as 1 and 2 and Off the Record? No! But do I welcome it? With a leash, at the doghouse, and then I bring it back in for some dinner? Yeah, I will. So overall, give it a go, give it a try, see what you think. And if you don't like it, let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear your opinion. But that's all I can really say for now. I think I covered everything that I needed to cover, informed you on things that needed to be informed, but hey, this is just D-Dot's opinion. Oh yeah, try out co-op with a friend, you will not regret it. Anyway, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed my first video, and if you'd like to see more from me, drop a like, comment down below, subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss out on my next release. D-Dot out.